PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with another mail day. It's mail day number 115, and yes, that means I buy too many cards. Usually these are 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20 cards. Today's episode is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there are 2 cards that are very relevant that are not Michael Jordan. So continuing with the trend of detouring from Jordan only recently, I've started to diversify and spend a little bit of money on some different stuff. Again, these videos are me sharing cards that just hit my PWCC Vault. If you like the way that I vault my cards and the way it's easy to display these cards with the high-def images front and back, the descriptions, the pop reports, the details, the ins, the outs, the ability to put them in a weekly auction and move them if you decide to move off a card, and you want instantaneous shipping on PWCC, do me a favor, check out my YouTube description. There are 2 ways you can support the channel. It's buying and selling cards on PWCC. It's real easy. I make it easy to help support the channel with no cost to you at all. So here we go. Today's list. I've got a slideshow. Card number 1, it's the Total D. That's what she said. No, it's not. And it's not the Total D that you're thinking of from 1992. That's what she said. No, I didn't. It's the Total D from 1995, and it's a PSA 10 copy. I picked this one up to go ahead and pair with my PSA 8s. I had a couple of PSA 8s, which again are like $20, $30 cards or something silly, I think, if I had to guess. But the PSA 10 goes very nicely with them. The original Total D card was, I think it was 1992. Fleer, if I'm not mistaken, but it is a much bigger card than this, which much more difficult pack odds. But this is a great card as well. People know there's 3 years of Total O, there's 2 years of Total D. So pretty cool stuff there. That is card number 1, Total D. Card number 2, Firm Foundation. Again, looks like an insert, sounds like an insert, but it's a subset card. This is card number 323 from the 1995 Fleer set. So we're staying in 1995 Fleer for the second card on this mail day, and it's this 1995 Fleer number 323 Firm Foundation. That's why they call it Firm Foundation, because it's printed right there on the card. Just like a lot of the Flair cards, you've got an image of up close of Jordan in kind of a backdrop, and then of course his entire body dribbling the ball up the court in the foreground. Just a cool card. I like it. I don't know. It's not super crazy special. It's like, not even in the hierarchy because, like I said, it's a subset card, but it is what it is. That's what I got. I got the 10. I've got 3 8s. Again, the 8s are probably $25, $30 cards. I'm totally guessing there. I have no idea. The PSA 10, it gets a little tough, though. And trust me, I know because I'm getting some grades back from this cross-country collection, and the grades are challenging, to say the least. I just received my 86 Fleer grades, and I sent 57 of those, including 6 Jordan rookies. So stay tuned for that grade reveal. That will be entertaining, to say the least. I've put pen to paper on value and things like that, and it's always fun to get a new submission back from PSA. It's like Christmas every time you get one. Anyway, the Firm Foundation PSA 10 rounds out that PSA 8-10 pairing. Next is Spike Says, and this is a true insert. So it's card number SS1 in the insert set. It's got obviously Spike Lee. That's why it's called Spike Says. And then it's a bunch of crap about what Spike thinks about Michael Jordan. Of course, Michael Jordan and Spike were in those great Morris Blackman Nike commercials back in the day. If you're not old enough to remember that, then I feel bad for you. But this Spike Says in a PSA 10 is actually a pretty tough card to run across with some pretty decent value. So good pickup for me there. And moving on, a non-Jordan card. It's Anthony Edwads. It's a Pop 1. It's a PSA 10. It is the Monopoly Prism, which, again, I know it's not Prism, but this is a black gold, and it's kind of got the gold look. And if you didn't say it was black gold, it would kind of look gold, but the black does intersect the top and bottom gold borders. But this Monopoly black gold is a serial number to 5 card, and it's a PSA 10 Pop 1, and it might be a Pop 1 forever. I think I got this card for a pretty good price. I was looking to try to find a way to buy some unique Anthony Edwads stuff. If you saw my last mail day, number 114, you saw I bought the triple patch 1/1 Platinum Immaculate with Halliburton, Edwards, and LaMelo Ball. I'm high on all 3 of those players. I'm significantly significantly higher on Anthony Edwards, especially based on his current price point, than I am on either of the other two, although I think the other two are very good, especially Halliburton, who's proven it. But it's a cool card. It's sort of like a little deal with the player rating on the back of an 88. His offense is already a 91, according to the Monopoly people or whoever the frick came up with these numbers. But this is the Anthony Edwards right here. So he's taken a huge leap forward this year, and then, of course, he hurt his hip right after I bought his cards. And so, again, I am being very transparent. I am starting to explore some, I wouldn't say high end, because I'm not looking at his like National Treasures RPA or anything like that. It's just really hard for me to spend that kind of money on any current player who hasn't won a title and could have their legs snapped off or touch somebody at a massage table or choke a girl and break her neck or any or all of those things. So, God forbid, I don't want to wish that upon anybody. I hope Anthony Edwards doesn't do something like that, but you get my drift. It's much easier for me to put that type of money into common stock on E-Trade and or Michael Jordan cards, which seem to be significantly lower risk, but also yield sometimes a very high reward. So happy to pick up this Anthony Edwards card. I think it's a great looking card. It's a great looking image. He is a tank, dude. Somebody the other day said he's the next Michael Jordan. Let's relax. I think he's going to be an absolute scoring machine, a tank of a man, a bully guard. He's basically got the Dwayne Wade type stuff, only he's got a tremendously advanced jumper when it's compared to Dwayne Wade's, who never really learned to shoot threes proficiently. So that's that. That is card number 3. Card number 4 is a big one, and it is a Pop 4. It's a BGS 9.5 Min Gem Golden Touch. I also have the other die cut Golden Touch in a 9.5 as well, the 98. This 97 Golden Touch is really miserable pack odds and really miserable to find in good condition. Even the back edges on this 9.5 present a little bit of concern. That's why I got a 9 subgrade from BGS. But the gold label on the gold card with the embossing, it's just a really big time card. It's a really important Jordan card. You'll find it in the golden in the hierarchy. I actually paid $63.59 for the card, and for whatever reason, it does not pull up on Card Ladder. I bought it on Golden, so I'm not sure why it's not showing up, but I did pay for it. Obviously, it's in my vault now. Golden finally shipped it. $13,200 was the last sale. What is that? 18 months ago, 19 months ago, 20 months ago, something like that. I don't know, somewhere like that. $13,200. I picked it up for half price, so less than half price. So I was very, 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 very excited about the price I paid for the card. Looking at the pop report, you can see it's only been 245 graded between the big two. There's 10 PSA 10s. There's 4 9.5s. That leaves 14, am I doing this right? 14, I don't know where the camera is. 14 gem copies in the world. So beggars can't be choosers. If PSA 10's 26 grand and I picked up the 9.5 for $63.59, I am literally on cloud 9. I have never been probably more excited to pick up a BGS 9.5 copy of a Jordan card than I was when I won this. I could not believe the price that I got it for. I was willing to pay significantly more. And so anybody who thinks Golden's shilling their cards, they didn't shill this one because I got it at what I think is a very good price. Let me know in the comments, do you think $63.59 is a good price on this? Given the last BGS 9.5 we saw sold for $13,200, and the last PSA 10, for God's sake, sold for $31,200. This card sold for $31,200 in a PSA 10, and it's a Pop 10 over, it's 2.5 times as many. I don't know. That's just doing some simple backwards math. I thought I did great. I picked up a Jordan Wizards. You guys know I do collect Jordan playing years. The Bulls stuff, I stop in the 90s. I don't collect the 2000 stuff. I stop in 1999. I know that's 1 year more than the playing years, but that's where I go to. Primarily 98 and before, but I do dip into 99 with the Bulls Wizards. And then I do collect the 2 Wizards years Jordan cards as well. Specifically, I am on the hunt for the refractor PSA 10s. And so I finally pulled the trigger on this one. It is the 2002 Topps Chrome base card number 10, PSA 10, which makes it a pain in the ass to look at. And by the way, there's my pairing. I've got the PSA 8 Golden Touch here. Let me show you. I've got the PSA 8 Golden Touch right there, which actually looks almost as good as the BGS 9.5. Again, you can see significantly more edge wear on the 8. And then on the back is where you're going to see the edge wear. And the problem with these cards is almost always going to be edge wear in corners. So the PSA 8 right there, and then the PSA, the BGS 9.5 as well. So I've got the low end and the high end covered. I know it's not a PSA 810 pairing, but and then BGS 9.5, PSA 8 pairing doesn't flow as well. It's not as easy to say, but it is what it is. But looking at this Topps Chrome Refractor, I've got in parentheses PSA 10, so I don't pull up a bunch of random stuff because this is card number 10 too, which makes it real tough to find comps because you're going to pull up a bunch of extra shit. But I picked it up for $16.20. Work with me going backwards here. The last sale of this card before mine is right here, $17.05. So a little bit cheaper than that. Saved $85 off that one. Then it was $1999.99. Then before that, it was $2,800. And then you got to get back into significantly further back, $11.75. Well, that's a much better deal than I got, but that was from October of 2022, so that was about 14, 15 months ago. And then 2025. So I like my price point at $16.20. Again, it's not going anywhere. This is Cajun Eternity. This one's going to sit in there for a while. I did want to show you, these are the Wizards Chrome Refractor PSA 10 family. And so this is what I have. I've got the Fast and the Furious, which you guys have seen on a prior mail day. That is my favorite. You know, again, we're not counting the gold, the black, and the white refractors, but this is my favorite insert refractor, the Fast and the Furious. I remember pulling this one and pulling a lot of Fast and Furious cards because I did rip the shit out of 2001 Topps Chrome. That is the Coast to Coast, which is also a really good looking card as well. I like the backdrop on that one. This is the Zone Busters refractor, which is my least favorite. It's got that weird, like, you know, kind of cracked ice on acid in the background, and then there's the one that we just looked at. So those are my four. I'm missing the Move refractor, which I think is another one of the Jordan Wizards insert refractors. So I'm missing the Move. So that's next. Got this in a PWCC weekly auction for literally peanuts. I think it was $14. This is a really, really tough card in the PSA 10. This card in the PSA 10 is actually really expensive, and it is a base card. It's just a really good looking base card in my opinion. I like it. It's got Jordan's stats and height, weight, birthplace, and college, and where he was drafted and stuff on the front. It's got like a little foil silver Chicago Bulls logo down there, and it's just a really good looking card. G, of course, is his position, and then it's got stats on the back. But $14 for that one, and then another baby, the Topps Gold 1993. This was actually $13, and so recently picked up the PSA 10 copy of this. I now have the 8 and the 10 of the 93 Topps Gold card number 101 All-Star game card. And then the last card is, oh my gosh, what? Yes, I do still collect LeBron. I know y'all think I am a Jordan homer, and yes, I think Jordan's the GOAT, and yes, I think LeBron's the second GOAT. I put him past Kareem, I put him past Wilt, I put him past Russell, Kobe, Magic, Bird, Shaq, go down the list. Yes, LeBron is the second greatest player that's ever played the sport of basketball, in my personal opinion. That's just me, but he's a distant second. He's a clear second. There are things he does better than Jordan. But all in all, if you ever ask anybody who they want to go win a game, Jordan's going to be the guy to win the game from the time the ball goes up until the last whistle blows. This is a base card, but in 2009, the Topps Chrome base were actually serial numbered. So this is serial number to 999. This is a PSA 10 copy, and I just picked it up in the PWCC Weekly auction number 98, and happy to have it. I like the horizontal. This is where he's doing the big 1 foot windmill, which he's been so prone to do over the course of his career. So in summation, going back to the list, we've got the Total D PSA 10, which closes out my pairing, the Firm Foundation PSA 10, which closes out my pairing, the Spike Says PSA 10. I need to pick up a little PSA 8 somewhere. I went way outside the box and picked up a Monopoly Black Gold Prism Anthony Edwards, but it's a Pop 1, it's a PSA 10, and I got it for 3 figures, not 4. And if you go look at the gold Prism stuff for Anthony Edwards, that shit is expensive still, in my opinion. Then I got the Golden Touch, which was obviously the steal of the week for me. This is the card that I'm most excited about at this particular price point. Again, I did in yesterday's video, you should have seen me pick up a Tier 1 Jordan Slam Bams, which is a much bigger card than this. But very happy to pick up this 9.5 Golden Touch for this price. Checked another refractor PSA 10 off. Check that box to add to the collection. Still missing a couple, I think, maybe one. At some point, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on the black and the white and the gold. Those are big cards, big cards. The 95 Fleer base PSA 8, then Topps Gold PSA 8, and then the LeBron base serial number 999 PSA 10. So that is it, guys. That is it for mail day number 115. I appreciate you guys watching. There's a couple things you can do for me. Number one, if you like the channel, if you don't like ads and you want to support the channel, hit the PayPal donation link. Just donate whatever you think my channel is worth to you from an educational and from an entertainment standpoint. I got a lot of great stuff out there. Go look at the playlist. There's a little bit for everybody. It's not just Jordan all the time, but it is a lot of Jordan because that's mostly what I'm buying right now. But there's a lot more to it. Check out the playlist. So the PayPal donation link is real easy. Just scroll down in the YouTube description. You'll see it. You can buy and sell on PWCC. When you do either of those things, you can support my channel if you just read the description in this YouTube video. And then lastly, I want to reiterate, the Michael Jordan hierarchy posters are still available. I sold 6 more today. I think I've sold over 300 and I've got 700 more in inventory. You're like, why in the hell did you buy 1,000? Nobody's going to buy these things. Well, I've sold 300 in like 90 days. So 1,000 is not out of the question over the course of a few years. I just got to keep opening my big mouth and remind everybody, I think it's a cool tool. I think it would be a great Christmas gift in the hobby as well. So if you want to buy one of those, just hit the comments and let me know you're interested. And then you can reach out to me on Instagram and direct message me on Instagram at Cajun_cardboard as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Michael Jordan hierarchy, then boy, do you have a lot of catching up to do. Click that playlist in my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click the Michael Jordan hierarchy playlist. Those posters are for sale and they are really cool with one of the biggest pack odds for Michael Jordan cards ever assembled on the back of those posters. The posters are legit 1980 style posters, 2 foot by 3 foot, glossy, high def images. You can see all the cards. You can use it as your checklist, or if you choose to collect Jordan in the same way that I do. So those are just a couple of the ways you can support the channel. Another way you can support the channel is with these t-shirts. You see this H on my shoulder? That's homage.com or homage.com or homage.com, however you want to pronounce it, HOMAGE.com. We're nearing the Christmas season. It's almost Christmas. You still have time. Go buy a bunch of badass t-shirts and other types of sports and pop culture apparel on homage.com. But if you're going to do that, if you want to support the channel, the Cajun Cardboard brand, go into my YouTube description. There's a link in there. Click that link. And when you go through that affiliate link, all your purchases, a little piece of the purchases will go to the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel to help me with audio, visual, buying cool shit, and hopefully sharing it with you guys. It also prevents me from getting a Patreon going, from linking up with YouTube for ads in the middle of my stuff. Again, the only ads you're going to get is me and my big mouth trying to pimp, these options right here on how to support the channel. You're not going to get anything pop up in the middle of your ads. You're going to get actual card content the entire time. If that makes sense to you, click the subscribe button. The like button actually helps me with YouTube. Don't ask me why, but it does. I don't click. I'm not good at that either, but I'm giving you this is called a call to action. Please hit the like button on these mail days. It actually helps me with YouTube and helps them push it out a little bit so I can add a little bit of legitimacy down here in Baton Rouge of the great state of Louisiana. Thank you guys again for watching. You're probably watching this on a Saturday or Sunday, so I hope you're having a great weekend in and out of the hobby. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.